here, as in the best of the sports aviators in the Big Apple skyline. A real Top Gun. This morning, though, we forget about soaring in the skies for just a minute, and in the box office, too, since, after all, it is a frightening time of the year. Our next mission, if you choose to accept it, the top 10 scariest figures in New York sports to face right now. Buckle up, we've got a need for speed here on BronxNet. At number 10, these Jets have some extra sauce this fall. Rookie cornerback Sauce Gardner had another standout performance in the team's 16-9 win over the Denver Broncos recently. Gardner had 10 tackles and 3 passes defended, including breaking up a fourth down pass to the end zone in the fourth quarter that could have tied the game. Open quote right here, "He's ready for this," close quote. Fellow cornerback DJ Reed said afterward, open quote again, "If we didn't go by rookies at second, third, fourth, fifth year, you wouldn't be able to tell he's a rookie out there. He's playing like a savvy veteran that's been in the league for multiple years. He's elite, man," close quote. Do you know who else is elite? Our number 9, the scariest keeper in Major League Soccer, resides in the Bronx. Netminder Sean Johnson, the wall in goal for New York City football. NYC's FC's Johnson is the best goalkeeper in the playoffs, folks. And for some reason, he's consistently underestimated again and again and again. The NYCFC captain made a season-high 7 saves in New York City's upset win over CF Montreal, but MLS pundits can't be bothered to take note. Not the case for us. We know the deal. Johnson is the real deal. From one underrated Bronx star to another, out at Fordham, signal caller Tim Demora is having a Heisman-like season for the Rams. He's already received a slew of weekly awards through the first 9 games. On the year, Demora has passed for over 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. He leads the NCAA FCS in passing touchdowns and passing yards per game. Over his career, Demora has completed over 900 passes for 11,000 plus yards and 100 touchdowns, all Fordham records. When he lines up under center, he strikes fear in opposing defenses. In at 7 on my list of the top 10 scariest figures in New York sports to face right now, our spooky Halloween special is Captain Jack. No, not Pirates of the Caribbean, but rather the Bronx guard on the rise on the basketball courts. The Hoops star from Cardinal Hayes in the BX, also of Hoops in the Sun fame, 5-star hoopster Ian Jackson is now starting to get into the visit portion of his schedule. He's being heavily recruited by many schools, including preseason number 1, UNC, and Power, Kentucky, among many others. He's currently the number 2 player in the class of 2024. He's the best high school player in New York City, and he's coming out of the Bronx. Says a lot about those New York City guards. Mad Max also roams this city, the city of Gotham. The New York Mets star pitcher made 23 starts and pitched 145.1 innings this season. His ERA, a sparkling 2.29. He remains one of the best pitchers in the game today. Aside from some missed time due to injury this baseball season, he delivered in his first season in Flushing. Now he just needs to deliver a championship in October for the Mets. There's something different about stepping into the batter's box against Max Scherzer. The former Washington Nationals World Series champion is not only one of the greatest hurlers of all time, but staring the 37-year-old straight in the eye can also be a bit intimidating. And I know why. No, not because Scherzer is casting a devastating death glare at his opposing hitters. The hard-throwing right-hander actually has 2 different colored eyes. It's actually a medical condition. Nonetheless, it's pretty scary. It's also scary to think how good Jose Perez will be this season on the hardwood. The Manhattan basketball star was a unanimous preseason first-team All-MAC selection and the projected Player of the Year in the MAC. Hopefully, he stays at Jasper and in the BX after the news of Steve Masiello's departure out at Trinity Gymnasium. Last season, Perez led the MAC in scoring at 18.9 points and finished second in assists per game at 4.5. After last season, Perez was named first-team All-MAC, second-team All-Met, and NABC Second Team All-District. The Bronx native paced the league in free throws made and free throws attempted. Perez also had the highest scoring game last season with 38 points against Niagara on February 4th. Milestones are Sabrina Ionescu's middle name. She comes in here at number 4 on my list. She's credited with being one of the best female basketball players in the game today and perhaps ever. I think she's one of the best players, male or female, period. Former Oregon Duck star has broken many records and continues to achieve new milestones day after day, year after year. She's the only NCAA Division I basketball player with 2,000 career points, 1,000 assists, and 1,000 rebounds, and that's male or female. In addition, she leads all men's or women's players in career triple-doubles with 26, destroying the previous record of 12. She's also Oregon's all-time leader in the following categories: assists, three-point field goals, points, and double-figure scoring games. And as you know, Ionescu was the first overall pick in the 2019 WNBA draft. She's been absolutely terrific in the WNBA ever since joining the league. In 3 seasons with the Liberty, she has averaged 15 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 6.1 assists. Last season, fully healthy, she averaged 17.4 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 6.3 assists. Talk about flying high. On July 6th, she had 31 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 dimes in a victory against the Las Vegas Aces, recording the first 30-point triple-double in WNBA history. When you're talking hoops and you say Sabrina, people know exactly who you're talking about. Same when you utter KD. Brooklyn Nets star Kevin Durant comes in number 3 on my list of the top 10 scariest figures to face in New York sports. Durant, like Sabrina, hasn't been able to bring a championship home to New York and Brooklyn just yet, but Durant, too, has the Nets in the thick of the championship hunt year after year. He remains one of the most lethal shooters and scorers in the game today. When healthy, the best scorer in the league, in my opinion. Absolutely. He's so great to watch. I love him. I love him. I love him. Now he just needs to win a championship. We saw that even this early part of the NBA season when Durant dropped 37 points on an absurd 14 of 20 shooting line, including a ridiculous 15-point third quarter. He largely kept his squad in the game as the Memphis Grizzlies caught fire from deep to kick off the second half. KD can take over any game at any time. And so can Bronx boy Saquon Barkley, who comes in here at number 2. The Giants' star running back has been exceptional in the early part of the NFL season. This one really stood out for me. He touched the ball 28 times for 135 yards to power the New York Football Giants to a 23-17 win over the Jacksonville Jaguars recently. Barkley finished that weekend 14 yards behind NFL leading rusher Nick Chubb. The Giants are the surprise of the NFL in the first half, starting out 6-1, and Barkley's resurgence is a huge reason why. Saquon is putting together a memorable season. Here in the Bronx, Aaron Judge just completed one of the most memorable in Yankees history, arguably one of the most memorable in baseball history. The Judge gets the top spot on my list of the top 10 scariest figures to face in New York sports. Aaron Judge soared in 2022, his free agent walk year, of course. Judge's .311 batting average was easily the best of the Yankees. The next closest batting average from players who played over 100 games was .261, which both DJ LeMahieu and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa had at the end of the season. That's a 50-point drop-off if you're keeping score. Judge paced the Yankees in just about every hitting category possible, and his ability to not just drive in runs at a high rate, but also get on base consistently makes him absolutely an invaluable part of the Yankee lineup. Judge obviously produces like no one else in the league. I think he's the MVP, hands down. His American League record-setting 62 home runs can attest to that. Like Mad Max on the Hill, Judge is an imposing figure in the batter's box, a 6'7", Paul Bunyan-type mythic figure for the Bronx Bombers. The only thing scarier is if he walks in free agency. Sign the man. As for me, it's highway to the danger zone. Call sign, Maverick.